Well, it's hard to believe that only 6 days ago we were having a big snowfall here in Wisconsin, but today it's 80 degrees. So it's a beautiful day. So we're out here getting the gardens cleaned up, and Jason's kind of going ahead and continuing on with the bunny enclosure, and we'll just share a little bit of that with you. You know, kind of what we're doing, what we find, and I also want to share the compost bins with you because there's lots of good stuff in there. For those of you that have been following us for a while know that we added these sub-pod composters over here, and they're really awesome, and we have a video on that. I'll put that tag above, right above in the upper left or right corner, whatever corner that pops up. I don't remember, but anyways, so I'm going to kind of show you what we're looking at here, opening it up for the first time. The cap will fall off because it actually broke in the wind this winter. We should have put a brick on it, but that's okay. All right, so this side here has the worm blanket on top, and so I just added some extra stuff in there. So it's just, you know, some garden debris and some old food and scraps from today.
Do you see any worms in there?
Well, yes, I saw a lot. Okay. So we didn't really do anything to winterize this, but there are directions on the SubPod website. And as you can see over here, look at how gorgeous that compost soil is.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know, all the food scraps in our, you know, that we ate. Cool. And I mean, this isn't the only batch that we've collected from the SubPod, but this is, you know, we let this kind of just sit over winter. And, you know, I've been seeing the worms in here too. They're probably dug in now too. But there's holes along, you know, all of the sides here. And they're in this bin that's like, comes up about 2 feet here. And I just cleaned it up. So even this soil is feeling super awesome. Yep, there's lots of worms in here. So once you start feeding inside of the compost bin, the worms will start crawling through here and coming back in because we added a lot of babies last year. And there's lots of, that's a little baby. So there's, yep, so there's lots of little babies, which is really good because babies eat a lot and they grow big. So yeah, even this soil's nice. So in here, we're gonna actually seed our peas today, I think. It's an easy area to seed and pull because they retire around the 1st or 2nd week of July once they produce. So, but yeah, we'll have to fix that a little bit. And then we've got another one over here. We always have so many food scraps because we eat a lot of fresh and everything like that. So some go in here, some go to our bunnies. So I just got to clean this one up and go through this one as well. So the composters are back in business for the season, so they're fed. We always feed on one side and then we kind of just go from there. So we're going to share the greenhouse with you today. As you guys know, we do have bunnies in here, and bunnies do not like it hot. So we have the back open, the side open, we have fans everywhere, and honestly it feels like I'd rather sit in their bunny pen. Yeah, I'd rather sit in their bunny pen than be out in the sun right now.
Yeah, there's enough breeze coming in just through the back door. So.
Yeah. Oh goodness, that is a really cool breeze coming in here. Yeah. Hi, Bun Buns. Aw, look at the little bunnies. Let's see. There they are. Where's Pumpkin? There's Pumpkin too. Oh, hi, Sage. Oh, you just want to be the main star of the show, don't you? Hi, Pansy. Oh, hi, boy. Here, we'll see where Pumpkin is. There he is. Hi, Pumpkin. Oh, you are just so cute, you guys. Look how adorable they are. And Jason opened up the corner over there.
And before Prancer came down, and he was over here, kind of looking out his new window.
Yeah, that's kind of cool for them.
Yep.
It's nice, and they're protected too. So we're just gonna do a quick little update on the plants growing. Yep. So those are the eucalyptus, silver dollar ones.
Big.
Yeah, they're almost ready to pass on to a new home. And then we've got a lot of our seedlings popping up. We're gonna keep them in these trays until it's time to transplant into the garden because it's a really nice size tray. These are actually one of the newer. See, look how nice. Those look really great. These are the Heliochrysum. It's the double mix.
So did you like this as opposed to the seedling trays and then bumping up and before the garden?
I like these for herbs, but I do like the small trays. I'll show you. So over here we have the small trays. That's a good question, hon. Over here is the small trays. I love using these smaller trays for the plants that are harder to germinate. Also, I like that they conserve space in the beginning as well. I feel like plants have a really great start in this small cell. Like, they're not going to be over flooded by too much wetness, and more touchy plants are great for this size. All plants are great for this size, really. But this year I knew I wasn't going to have as much room with the bunnies in here, and my dad had these trays that they were going to toss, and I took them. As you can see, this is our lemon basil. Look how awesome that is, but it has to stay in here for another couple weeks yet. We're not clear of frost here in Wisconsin yet. Over here we've got the clary sage. So that's looking great too. See, they're getting really rooted, but I think we can hold them off a little bit longer. This one over here is the cinnamon basil. So those are looking great too. We had a little bit of damage from the thrips, and we had to spray a few times in a row with the Monterey. It's like an organic spray to get rid of the bad bugs, and they really like the basils a lot. So I feel like we're finally getting those under control. Oh, here's our flowering kale. The crane red, looking really good. Yeah. That's looking great. Borage over here, or borage, however you want to say it. So this is actually a great one to directly sow into your garden. You don't have to pre-start these if you don't want to. They germinate really quickly and grow really quickly. We just started some earlier because we're going to try to extract some oil from that. It's supposed to be a good carrier oil. I don't know how that's all going to work out, but we're going to try it and kind of go from there. We'll share our findings. And then we've got some snapdragons over here. I seeded these really heavy, as you can tell. So I've never done it that way before, but I figured what the heck. So we'll have a big bunch and bundle. In here we've got the hyacinth bean just about to pop out. Barely popped out. Getting there. And bam.
Alright, so these are the willows that we cut last week off of our trees. We basically took and just trimmed some of the branches off, and we've had them in water for a little over, well, I guess about a week now, a little more than a week. And you can see that they are starting to root here.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
All of mine in the house too, the corkscrew willows are rooting too.
And it's a good thing, because if you just kind of looked at everything in here, you might think that it's dying, that it doesn't look that good. This stuff had just seeded out, so that's why that did that. But everything
just comes off and it'll green up. It comes back. They're so hardy, so they go through kind of like a little funk, but then they just pop back.
So my question, and maybe you'll know this, Casey, it seems like a lot of the roots are starting to happen, you know, a little ways up from the bottom.
Yep.
So then when it comes time to plant, will we just snip and then plant to have the roots at the bottom?
You could, yeah, you could trim up to the roots. As long as there's roots, you can get rid of even say that it was rooting down here. Sorry, I do pronounce root very differently. But you know, even if there's roots down at the bottom, but then there's some up here and you don't want it to dig that deep of a hole, you can chop that and just keep this. As long as you have some of the roots for planting it, it'll take off. It's like a weed.
Perfect.
You know, if you chopped part of a weed's root and still planted it, it would still go. So that's kind of how these guys are. And it's like my cactus is like, can you please move them? I can't breathe or see. Look at those beautiful succulents.
I know. Well, ooh, you know what? So here, so we've got one really big one in here. This will almost be like a full-blown tree. And I wasn't sure with this, like if you know, if this would actually root. So let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's rooted.
Oh, that is awesome. So look at this thing. Is this thing here, it's hard to tell in here, but this is probably, I mean, it's like almost 8 feet tall. So basically we were able to cut off this huge branch, and then it'll root, and then we'll almost have like a tree already that we can plant out there. That's really cool.
This is awesome, because I just want to load up the front and get that privacy. It'll be so nice. What's up with you?
We're doing the bubble machine.
The bubble machine? Ooh! Oh, bubbles!
Oh, yeah!
As I'm cleaning up our gardens, I'm finding a ton of earthworms, so that's another great benefit of leaving your garden in. They bed right into the roots, so you can really even just cut your plants down rather than pulling them out. But if you're gonna pull them out like I do, I always shake them, and I do leave some of the root structures underneath the soil. I'm gathering some worms right now because I'm just gonna add some extra into our compost bins. There's a lot of little babies in here too. So lots of worms, and they're so great for the soil, you guys. They are like a natural fertilizer, a pH balancer, soil conditioner, so many benefits, and they aerate the soil. It's so good, and it's so natural, and it's so easy. So that's why we love, you know, keeping the garden in over the winter. And this is kind of like where they kind of bed into, and so when I'm gathering, I'm just kind of shaking and knocking the worms off, so that way they go right back into the garden. So the best worms to use in your composter and compost bins are red worms. Earthworms aren't typically always the best because they're not as aggressive, and earthworms tend to stay lower, whereas red worms are more aggressive and stay to the top. I just figured that piece of information might help you if you're starting your compost bins from the beginning. So you can go online, you can order them. We've ordered them last year. Every year at the start of the garden season, I'm always adding a fresh layer of worm castings. We utilize worms a lot in our gardens, you guys. It's just amazing. It's natural, it's easy. And I mean, just look at the quality of the soil here. It's gorgeous soil.
Well, it's getting there. There's still more boards to put up, and I'm going to paint them first before I put them up because it's easier to do that way. So, but
it looks so good. Like, it blends. So the last video I told you guys, Jason and I were going to shut the camera off and discuss this. He didn't want to paint them.
I didn't, because I hate painting.
I know, but it looks so much better. It ties in everywhere. Now it doesn't just like stick out, you know?
And two, it should protect the wood so that it doesn't bow or twist, and it'll keep it just protected and sealed. It should help actually extend the life of the posts, so we would never really have to replace these. So.
Yep, that's good. And I just love how it just matches everything. It looks so good, and it's gonna be so nice and big so we can hang out with the bunnies in here.
Yep.
They're gonna love it. And since we're over here, let's just do a quick little update on this Pansy window box and those corkscrew willow whips that we stuck in there. Those are looking great. We had a ton of rain these past few days, and they're starting to really flourish with those beautiful green leaves, and that tells me that they're rooting in there. As long as you keep your soil wet, these corkscrew willows will go ahead and root in there, and then they'll get the nice green on them. Some will actually brown and fall off, but that's okay because they still usually root. But in a container for spring, you want them to really get the green on them, so you have to keep them a little bit more wet. So I guess the rain this past couple days has come in handy.
Yep, it looks nice. It looks good having the little leaves popping out of there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Looks so cute. Well, the day has come to an end, and I got all of the beds cleaned out over here. It's looking really clean. Looks really nice. We just have those rock border beds yet to do in the back. but everything looks really nice. So now we're ready to even seed some of our peas and radishes, stuff like that, cold crop stuff. You can do some lettuces, all of that. Does great right now. Jason got all of the boards painted.
Yep, now things can be wrapped up. I got some more wood to put up, and then I can put the metal webbing on.
That'll look great.
Yeah.
Yep, and he already painted all the boards that get attached to the top. And so yeah, so we've got a lot done today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So that's it for today, you guys. We're exhausted. We're gonna go sit down and possibly even go on a little nature hike with the girls. We'll see what the rest of this day brings. It's 5 p.m. right now, still sunny, but it's super windy. Oh, and Jason also built that door.
Yep.
Built the bunny door. It looks great, hon.
Walking through it for the first time.
Yeah, I'm really lucky Jason's handy. He can do all that stuff. I'll grow and harvest. You know, we all have our own strengths, and you got to bring them together to create a good team.
Right.